Hello everyone, this is teacher Ghelaii Garcia. As of today, we are experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic. That's why we are prohibited to go to school to have the face-to-face learning. So, we come up with this strategic kind of learning. Stay tuned and learn from me all throughout the session. Now, if you have some questions, please feel free to PM me with my account, Ghelaii Garcia. Without so much ado, let's start the discussion. For our objective, students should be able to identify the genre, the purpose, intended audience, and features of various view texts such as movie clip, trailer, news flash, internet-based program, documentary, and video. Our lesson for today is recalling my ancestors' belief. By the way, what is ancestor? Okay, ancestor is a person who was in someone's family in the past time, or one of the people from whom a person is descended. Or in other words, ancestor are our great-grandparents or grandparents. The lesson will help you build up the teachings of your ancestors through their myths, legends, customs, and beliefs that explain the beginning of the world and other natural phenomena in your place. Do you know some myths and legends in our province, especially here in Basco? Yes or no? Alright, I believe there is. And I know for sure your parents and our grandparents used to tell you some stories about the myths and legends. For example, my grandparents, especially my lolo and lola who were passed away already, they told me a story about the legend of Iraya and the spirits who used to live there a long time ago. So that is just an example of a legend. Now, for our discussion for today is all about the myth. Myth is a narrative that describes and portrays the origin of the basic elements and assumptions of a culture in a symbolic language. Or in other words, myths are traditional stories occurring in the timeless past. Okay, so just like what I have said earlier, the legend of the Iraya and the spirits and the goblins that are living there a long time ago. Right. So they involve supernatural elements and or are beyond logic. Supernatural elements like tikbalang, diwatas, white ladies, duendes, sirena, and so many more. Okay. Mythic narratives relate, for example, how the world began, how humans and animals were created, and how certain customs, gestures, or forms of human activities originated. Narrative, for example, human activity. Our grandparents, even our parents, still want us to believe such customs and or gesture like saying po and opo as a sign of respect to elders. Saying po if you are called by elders and or your parents, your teachers, your lolo and lolas, and or all the other elders. So you have to say po or opo to show respect to them. Another kind of human activity, for example, is by kissing the hand of elders as gesture to show them love and respect. But here in Batanes, we're not usually kissing the hand of elders or our parents, but to get their hand, to grab their hand like this, and then do this kind of gesture. Even the saying tabi-tabi po when going to the field or forest to gather some firewood, for example. So I have experienced this one when in my elementary years and high school years when going out or going to the forest and field with my father. We usually say tabi-tabi po whenever we reach dark places. Why? It is because they want us to be safe and sound with the teachings of our great-grandparents, and also they want us to preserve our culture and not to forget them even the world has continuously changing. Okay, so we're done with the discussion. So we have here practice activity. We call it 4-in-1. View the following drawings. Then complete the 2 words given below using the 4-in-1 pictures and consonants clues. Here is the picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, and picture 4. Okay, so what could be the answer? So for picture 1 and picture 2, the answer is creation. Picture 3 and picture 4, the answer is shiny. Before we move on, take note of the following. Number 1, you have to copy all the questions given and answer in your English notebook. So here you're going to have an English notebook wherein you're going to place all your activities in English. Number 2, do not skip any activities given by your teacher. And number 3, collecting and checking of activities should be every Friday. Okay, this is it. For your task 1, here are a process questions in your practice activity earlier. Okay, number 1 question, which picture is a symbol of Maranao art and is believed to be a symbol of good fortune? Number 2 question, which one shows a mischievous little creature that is believed by Maranao people to have magical powers? Number 3 question, which one is believed as the great being? Number 4, how about you? Do you believe in supreme being? Why? Remember that all the questions should be copied in your notebook and then your answer should be labeled in each item. Here is a selection or reading text before going to the next activity. The title of the selection is The Origin of the World Maranao, retold by Abdulati Mandale. According to Maranao folklore, this world has created by a great being. It is not known, however, who exactly is this great being, or how many days it took him to create this world. This world is divided into 7 layers. The earth has also 7 layers. Each layer is inhabited by different kind of being. The uppermost layer, for example, is the place we are inhabiting. The second layer is being inhabited by dwarfs. These dwarfs are short, plump, and long-haired. They are locally known as Karibanga. The Karibanga are said to possess magical powers. They are usually invisible to the human eye. The third layer of the earth, which is found under the sea or lake, is inhabited by nymphs. These nymphs are also possess certain magical powers. It is stated in the story of Raha in Darapatra that he met and fell in love with a princess nymph with whom he had a child. The sky also consists of 7 layers. Each layer has a door which guarded day and night by huge mythical birds called Garoda. The 7th layer of the sky is the seat of heaven, which also divided into 7 layers. Every layer in the sky is inhabited by angels. Maranaos believe that angels do not need food. They all possess wings with which they fly. Heaven, which is found on the 7th layer of the sky, is where good people's spirit go after death. Saints are assigned to the 7th layer, while persons who barely made it are confined to the lowermost layer, which is found at the bottom of heaven. It is in heaven where we find the tree of life. On each leaf of tree of life is written the name of every person living on earth. As soon as a leaf ripens or dries and falls, the person whose name it carries also dies. The soul of every person is found in tightly covered jars kept in one section of heaven. This particular section of heaven is closely guarded by a monster with 1,000 eyes named Wallow. Wallow, in addition to his 1,000 eyes, has also 8 hairy heads. The epic Darangan speaks of Madale, Bantugan's brother and Mabaning, husband of Lawanen, entering this section and retrieving the soul of Bantugan. After reading the text, here is your activity. For your task 2, we name it in the beginning. Number 1 question, who created the world according to Maranao folktale? Number 2, how many layers comprise the world he created? 3, describe the world he created. Describe its layers and who inhabited each layer. So in question number 3, you have here 3 questions to answer. Number 4, how many layers comprise the sky? What was common to all layers? Here in question number 4, you have 2 questions to answer. Question number 5, where was heaven found in the world of the early Maranaos? And who were its inhabitants? Okay, question number 5, you have here another 2 questions to answer. Question number 6, what was the function of the tree of life? And number 7, how is the soul of every person secured in one section of heaven? Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something today. God bless everyone.